how women test you and how to handle it. If you want to find a serious, meaningful, long-term relationship as a man, you have to learn how to create and sustain attraction. If you want to learn how to create and sustain attraction, you'll have to learn how to pass so-called congruence tests, because women will test you. Not because they're playing mind games, not because they're being manipulative, but simply as a means to determine as to whether you're a man who's actually confident or whether you're just pretending to be. Because any man can learn a pickup line, drop it, and look confident. But she needs to determine whether you're a man potentially worth spending her life with or not. So she will test you. Those tests come in all kinds of different ways, and I'm going to give you a couple of different examples on how to handle that. If a woman tests you, for example, it's a silly little example, but she might look at you and say, are you gay? Right? And that's just silly, teasy. You might say, oh, if a woman were to ever say that, that's disrespectful. No, women will test you in all kinds of ways. It's a bit windy up here, overlooking Dublin. Handle it, okay? So these tests will come in a variety of different ways. It's just a silly little example. If she looks at you, and for some reason, this has happened to me quite a few times in the past, what does that say about me? I don't know. Women look at me and they go, are you gay? What's the worst thing you can do? No, actually, I'm not just straight. I'm super straight. That's the worst thing you can do. Bam, failed. There's three things that are going to happen when you're presented with a so-called congruence test. You're either going to pass it, you're going to master it, or you're going to fail it. If you pass it, attraction stays more or less the same. If you master it, attraction is increased. If you fail it, attraction is decreased. It's a mental model. It's an imperfect mental model, but it's quite useful. So if she tests you to tease you in any way, shape, or form, for example, saying, are you gay? And you say, well, you start justifying yourself. Well, no, I'm super straight. Actually, I've never watched in my life, whatever. I don't even have gay friends, whatever. You start talking some nonsense like that, it's going to turn her off. What if you were to say, no, but I wish I was? No, I think life would be so much easier. You know, Grindr, these guys, they can just jump on an app. They can just connect intimately, if you get what I'm saying, within a matter of minutes. Whereas then again, they do struggle with long-term relationships. It's very easy for them to hook up with it. So I'm actually confused. But I do think I wish I was, right? Whether you go on an elaborate storytelling, funny, comedic journey that lasts 25 to 40 seconds, or whether you simply say, no, but I wish I was, ha, ha, ha. She'll laugh immediately. What do? You accept and amplify the premise. You agree and exaggerate. You drive the premise, which is quite evident in this case, to such an extent, to an extreme, where it becomes apparent that it's ridiculous what she just said. So you say, no, but I wish I was. Or, yeah, actually, you know, like, I can't even say this, but like, you make it even more plastic. You make it even more visual. You go even more into the extreme to then point out how silly it is. Or, for example, you might come up to her and say, excuse me 2 seconds, you're really cute, want to come meet you, or I really like your style. I really like your outfit except the shoes. They kind of fuck it up. And then she goes, do you say that to all the girls? Do you say that to all the women? What do you say now? No, really? This is the first time I'm saying that? Liar! You start lying. You start justifying yourself. You are emotionally reactive. Failed, attraction decreased. Why? Because you're evidently not confident. You're not able to hold your ground. What's better? Well, what would be better would be to simply say, yeah, you're actually number 27 today. How does that make you feel? Because it's evidently a joke, you know? I mean, even if you actually did 11 approaches beforehand and you told her, you're number 11 today, how does that make you feel? She's not actually going to think that it's a reality, right? So you drive the premise to such an extreme where it becomes obvious that what she just said is absolute and utter nonsense. That's one. So the key to this is emotional non-reactiveness. It's absolutely key that you remain emotionally non-reactive. The second you start justifying yourself, you lose. The second you start engaging in a very serious dialogue, you lose. So what you have to learn to do is you have to learn to be emotionally calm and understand it's just a test. It's just a game she's playing. But most of you look at women as these tigers, raw, these lions who are going to come to attack you. What you should be doing instead, really, is see them as a little baby tiger, a kitten perhaps. If you perceive her to be a real threat, then you're actually screwed. Because if she senses any type of insecurity, uncertainty, the fact that you might even doubt your own value as a man purely because of the words she uttered. She's immediately going to lose respect for you. So, in your mind, understand, it's just a game. Not that they're playing in a manipulative way, but what it is, it's simply a necessary evaluation mechanism for them to understand whether you're a man building a family with. Because she needs to know that you're able to overcome challenges, that you're able to create certainty from within when there is none on the outside. It is so crucial that she learns that she can rely on you. So, she's basically emulating the future world, which will test you by giving you these tests. Now, very important. So the key, accept and amplify. You can misinterpret. You can... And in the essence, you just need to be emotionally non-reactive. That's the key. The key is that you learn to never ascribe too much value to the spoken word, but still respect her as a person. So don't just jump onto the words that she's saying. Oh, she said this. A lot of men take every single word that people, not just women, say way too serious. What you want to do is you absolutely want to respect the individual. You want to take her serious at the level of the needs. But the individual word that's uttered oftentimes isn't necessarily that well thought through, okay? So take her serious at the level of the needs, not so much every single word. Obviously, you want to respect her and take her serious, but I'm sure you're cognitively able enough to understand the difference here. Another point is that some men now learn to handle congruence tests so well that they end up in relationships with women who test them all the time. If she's testing you all the time, well, then she's insecure, okay? Women who test you all the time way too much, that's just a sign of insecurity, okay? It's like a man who, for example, you know how we've talked about using self-deprecation as a form of humor to build attraction because it's going to make you come across super confident? Now, if you use that too often, as we've talked about in previous videos, you come across as insecure. Same thing here. If she feels the need to test you all the time, then it just also shows she's probably not right for you because she's not calm and grounded enough. So the right woman won't actually test you that much, only every now and then. Now, these things then continue in the relationship and they manifest in a lot more detailed ways depending on the scenario. But just understand, what you need to do is you need to bring certainty to the situation. Once you can do that, attraction will be created and sustained over the long term. Wish you all the best.